I did a test on a 2020 Ford F350 with the 7.3. Today I have a Chevy Silverado with the L8T gas engine. Now one of my friends has almost an identical truck, but his is in better condition for sure. Now as far as the miles go, we're just at 42,000 miles and we are hooked up. I will say one thing I love about the Chevy trucks over that Ford I just did today, you guys see right here, you can get the chains in so much easier. I probably took 15 minutes getting those chains out of that receiver hitch. It's one of the worst designs ever. Now some people will actually add loops to it to make it easier, but with Chevy you don't have to do all that. Now this truck does not have fifth wheel prep package, and this is a work truck model too, by the way, so it's pretty bare bones. It does have the 20-inch wheels, which should help it tow more. But as far as the towing features go, everything is manual. So if you want to put the mirrors in tow mode, well, that's what you got to do. On this side, now let's go ahead and check out the numbers on the door. Now someone pulled off the trailering information. This is the second Chevy truck that I've seen, or actually the first one was a GMC, but this is the second time I've seen this on a GM product where someone removed the sticker. I don't know why they would do that, but it is what it is. But the gross axle rating in the rear is 6,390 pounds, and the gross fuel weight rating is going to be 10,000 pounds. Now this truck came with 18 by 8 wide wheels, but I guess I want those 20s, which look so much better. All in payload on this truck is going to be 2,970 pounds. And as far as your towing features go, you guys just saw the mirrors are mainly operated for tow mode. But when you get inside, your tow haul mode is right there. And luckily, we do have a trailer brake, which is kind of rare on these lower trim model Chevy trucks. Now, you do have to put a key in. And I forgot to show it to you guys on the Ford, but the backup camera on these trucks, it's just been 3 years. My goodness, have we come a long way. This line is not even centered, which I don't know, like I was shocked by that. But you still have these parking lines, and then of course you can turn everything off, which honestly, because of how off-centered it was, I didn't even use it because it was throwing me off. But apart from that, that's pretty much it. Now the trailer brake on the Chevys and GMs, you don't need much. I have it at 3.5. Let's see what happens when I pull it. Oh, I'm in reverse. Let's go forward. That's pretty strong. I'm gonna put it at 3. That might be better. I think with the Ford I had it at about 6. So every truck's a little different, but the mirrors are pretty good. I can see around the trailer nicely. They are power on the top, but the bottom convex are not. If you are wondering how much the truck dropped, I did do a measurement before I hooked up the trailer, and I'll show it to you now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get the measurement for this one. $42.25, and now it's right at 39.25, if you want to call it that. It's a little bit higher than that, but 3 inches, right? It was 42.25, I believe. So 3 inches, not bad. Now if you want to step back and see what it looks like, here it is. This is pretty level ground. Truck is pretty much leveled out, so 3 inches is not much. Now they did remove the mud flaps, and I must say I like the way it looks. I believe this truck might have been used for snowplow, I think, or I might even know because on the front end looks like it was, but I don't know, maybe not. Now I borrowed this truck from Seiner Chevrolet, and they do have it for sale. It should be, well, I don't want to say it should be. It might be a certified pre-owned, but I don't know. So I think sometimes it has to be within a certain condition, but you can just call the dealer and find out. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the pricing on this one. So currently right now, this truck is not showing a price. So I can show you the MSRP of it when it was brand new. So base price of it was $41,700, and it had a lot of options. So you guys can see here. And then on this side, Chevy spray and bed liner, and down are all the ads that they did, and then total price was $46,515. So not bad actually for this truck. This is, I mean, it's basic. There ain't much in here, but if you're just looking for a work truck or there's something to do truck stuff, this is a perfect build. Let's go ahead and get down the road. I'm going to take it to the cat scale so you guys can see how much payload we have after the trailer is hooked up. Actually, let's go ahead and check out what's inside if you didn't watch the Ford video. On the very front, I did add some wheels and tires from my wife's old car. I have my generator, and these don't weigh much. They're probably about 20 pounds a piece. And then these are just some new fender flares for the trailer. And then here is the big weight, which is this 2013 Lexus. I pretty much filled it up with fuel. And let's go ahead and get it weighed at the cat scale, see what we're looking at in terms of gross combined and what we have left over for payload. Now I understand why some truck guys hate us who buy these decked out pickup trucks. I understand now. It is 101 degrees outside, and I wish I had some ventilated seats. Oh man, this truck is so uncomfortable. Even with the AC on, it's just not helping. I even have it on the floor too. It's just hot. But I'm gonna go ahead and get some fuel too before we go, because this is actually kind of low. But I do have the truck in tow haul mode, and as you guys know, back in 2021, the truck had a 6-speed transmission. So I want to try to set a basis point, because as you guys saw in the last video, I did the Ford Super Duty, and now we're going to check out what this truck can do, pulling about, this is about, well, we'll see. Wide open throttle. I can't wait to do the next video, guys. So in the next video I do, let me turn the AC down so you guys can hear me a little bit better, but I am gonna discuss the differences between this and the 7.3. Now, one good thing about this truck is it is base, so there's no aftermarket wheels and tires. The Ford did terrible because of the wheels and tires. They had a pretty aggressive offset on the wheels, and it had those Kenda tires, which, if I'm being honest with you, I've never heard good things about those tires. Not saying they're bad tires, but I just feel like they have really weak sidewalls, and I really noticed that on that test that I did. But be sure to check out that video. Oh, nice. This truck downshifts strong. I tapped the brakes and it was pretty much downshifting. Look at that. Wow, that is pretty good. Good job, Chevy. My 10-speed didn't even do that. So here are the numbers. The trailer is pretty much exact. So it was 8,060 pounds with that Ford, and now it's 8,040 pounds. So plus or minus, sometimes that weight can transfer to the truck as well. Now the truck weighs about 7,030 pounds on the curb, and if you figure it's about 1,700 pounds of hitch weight if you were to subtract it. But I'm inside the truck, so that's 200 pounds. So I would say it's about 1,400 pounds of hitch weight for sure. But that will pretty much end the video. You guys will see here, the truck has about 1,200 pounds of available payload, because if you take the 10,000 pound and subtract these two numbers, so it's 8,800 pounds, the steer and drive axle. That's all you have for payload. So yes, this truck, you know, even with just 1,400 pounds, and there's nothing else inside the truck. There's no passengers, there's nothing in the bed. So you really have to make sure you do these numbers when you are looking to tow, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, my family, with my wife and my kids, I mean, we'd probably be another 200 pounds maybe with my kids and my wife. So it's not much, but if you add a generator and a bunch of gear in the bed and whatever else, if you want to use a weight distribution hitch, all those things can affect those numbers. But be sure to subscribe to the channel. I got the towing video coming up next. You don't want to miss it. I'm going to compare it against that Ford Super Duty. So be sure to stay tuned for that. See you guys soon.